Thank you for tuning in to the Toledo Track and Trail Podcast, where co-hosts Matt Bucher and Marty Wheeler interview motocross and off-road racing and riding icons to capture their stories and experiences for you. So buckle up those helmets, grab a handful of throttle, and get ready to listen to the Toledo Track and Trail Podcast. Before we get started with tonight's podcast, please make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell. That way you stay up to date with all of our new episodes.
I want to thank my family for all their hard work, our staff, and most importantly, I want to thank our fans and riders. Please visit mxexpress.net.
We also want to show some love for a local nonprofit off-road club, the Toledo Trail Riders, and visit their website at toledotrailriders.org.
Matt, aren't we forgetting one?
Yes, please visit paulschlegelmovie.com to see how you can help Paul get his stories told in a documentary film for the whole world to enjoy forever.
I think we're done.
Okay, Marty, let's get after it. Now, it's on to the episode.
Okay, well, good evening, everybody. We got a special kind of a podcast tonight. Marty, I think we call it episode 6.5.
There you go.
6.5.
6.5.
So we're in studio again. This is kind of how we're going to be from here on out. Again, as time goes on, we're trying to upgrade our equipment. But you are watching the
Toledo Track and Trail
Podcast.
All right, we've been practicing that for hours, just so everybody knows. So actually the last 5 minutes, the kids have done great. So this is really special to Marty and I because this is kind of an impromptu episode, if you will. This is our family. I want to introduce Ella down here. Raise your hand, Ella. Wave to the camera a little bit. This is Marty's granddaughter and also Marty's grandson, Ethan. And this is Vincent and Max, which are my boys. And we're going to talk about the greatest sport in the history of mankind, which is motocross and off-road riding and racing, which is what we do here on the podcast. So we got a special guest tonight here with the kiddos, and we're going to have a little fun. They are the future of our sport, so we want to make sure we recognize them and keep them involved. And we hope that you do too out there. In the audience listening. So we're going to start with Ella tonight because you're a lady. We want to be gentlemanly here. So Ella, why don't you tell us how young of a gal are you?
I'm 6.
You're 6. And what do you ride? Do you ride a dirt bike or a scooter? Or what do you currently ride now?
So I ride my electric bike, but sometimes I ride my dirt bike.
Which dirt bike is yours?
That one.
This one here?
Yeah.
You're 50F?
Mm-hmm.
And do you ride around the farm here, or do you ride over at Papa's track?
Well, yeah, I ride on the track. I've been practicing because Ethan, he has a new dirt bike, and he gave the red bike to me.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Ethan, that's very kind of you, buddy. Was that just out of the kindness of your own heart kind of thing?
Mm-hmm.
Man, and you guys are cousins, right? Cousins. And Ethan, you're from Florida, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What do you think about being up here in Ohio? Is it as warm as it is down there?
No.
No, not quite. It gets pretty intense, doesn't it? So
Yeah.
So Ella, this is your bike, and it looks like a real nice bike. What do you know? What year it is offhand?
Papa don't even know what year it is. That's the thing with the Hondas. The Hondas they're just such a staple for young kids. The 50s have been around for years and years, and I think they name it a little bit different and put a little different plastic on it, but it's the same bikes years and years, and year after year, and it's just a great bike for a young kid to play with.
I think you could go down to vintage days because Max has the same bike for just a few years older. I think yours is a 2001.
Yeah.
And we bought that used at vintage days, and like you said, you could take these plastics and graphics off and just keep shuffling it down the line. And
I have an old one of these.
Do you?
Yeah, it's in the garage.
Which one's your favorite of the two?
I like this one.
Do you? So do you like to do jumps with it, or do you like to ride in the woods or in fields?
Well, I kind of like it, not bumpy, but I like it smooth. Because sometimes, I think I'm gonna fall over. Because when I went to Papa's track, I went around the corners and stuff, and on the handles, I bumped my belly. I bumped
You hit your belly on the handlebars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've been falling a lot.
Well,
It's been a long
what's Papa
time.
doing to the track? I thought you got folks keep it groomed for you out there, Ella.
Well, I got a question for you. So, this is cool because, back in my day, we had some mini bikes and little Briggs & Stratton stuff, and, some 50s were, it was a real good to have a 50, but most of ours was old Briggs & Stratton stuff, but you really didn't have anything else to ride or get prepared for. So when you finally got one, you jumped on it and you learned how to ride it and you go. And it's really cool now because my grandkids have all started out with the Striders.
Okay.
So I don't know if your kids got the chance to do that or not,
I
but
did.
Max had a Yamaha one.
Yep. What a great invention. Now, I happened to see it, and it was so weird because Lori and I was actually watching the deal, and it was Travis Pastrana. And I remember they did a little movie about him, how he started racing, and he was at his track at his house, and he was running around with this little bike with no pedals. And I'm like, what in the world is that,
Right.
Started hunting around, finally, oh yeah, they got these bikes, And so, Ella, how old were you when you started riding your Strider?
2.
2 years old.
2 years old.
I ride in my Strider, then the electric bike, and then my dirt bike. Well, sometimes I ride my dirt bike.
So, it's so cool because they learn balance right off the bat.
Right.
There's no training wheels, right? And so, Ella and Ethan both. Ethan, how old were you when you started riding?
I think I was like a month old.
No, not a month old.
Or
A year old.
like a year old.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So he started walking around 11 months. And about a month later, he was actually riding or balancing on that, going up and down our hallways in our office.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's so cool because now they're doing that. Now Ella she's had a little bit of opportunity. She keeps talking about her electric bike, which you can see in the back. We have
Okay.
a Stasics, which is basically a bicycle with a little electric motor with a battery with a drill motor on it.
Right.
So
the 12 volt.
the 12 volt. There's 3 different speeds. So with Ethan, he started riding at a year old. His Stasics. He rode that a lot more before he got into the Hondas, and he ran a little bit of training wheels. So had a few scares with the training wheels, So I think we had to watch him at the track a couple times because they hook a rut, and next thing you know they're going right when they shouldn't be going right, and that kind of stuff. So, but so he did the Stasic, the 50 with training wheels, and then he of course went on to the Husky. But with Ella, she went from the Stasic to the Honda, no
Nice.
training wheels.
Nice.
So you can't. I mean, it's just so great for the little kids. We're talking about being little kids and running the track. It's so great that now they can start off young and it's just like step, and they're just going on. And the products are unbelievable. The Striders have been around for a long time. I mean, he's 9 years old now. We bought one 9 years ago, so they've been around before. Well, Travis Pastrana was young when he was riding it, so it's been around for a long time.
Well, I think you can get them really at any dealership now. I believe.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. Most dealerships have them, and it's pretty cool.
I think Max, your papa got my dad got yours at Hills Championship.
Yep, that's where we
Yamaha.
got ours.
You can get them at the local dealers too.
Yeah, and he's got 2 sizes right now, 12 and 16s.
Okay.
And this actually we borrowed because it was the cleanest because somebody didn't wash their bike. But that's Emma's, and she is, how old is she now? 2. She's 2 years old.
That's your little sister, right?
That's
Ella?
Yeah.
Okay.
3. She's 3. Okay. She's there somewhere.
We got around.
She turned 3.
Yeah. So she's got the little smaller 12, and then she's got the 16, and now we're hearing rumors that they're going to come up with a 21 inch, I think.
Okay.
I think is what they were saying.
Well, that's definitely the future. I mean, the electric. I mean, you're seeing it electric, the e-bikes and the mountain bikes and that kind of thing. And
It gets in the throttle control. Gives them the used to using the brakes.
Yep.
So when they go, like I said, she rode that round. I mean, rides the wheels off it and walked right out. We started for her, we put it in gear, and she rode off. I mean, it was just like she's riding that.
And this is Ethan. This is your bike, right?
Yep.
You got an hour meter on it. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You've got 100. Is that 117?
No,
Am I reading that wrong?
it's 10 points. Is it
Looks like 11.7.
11.7?
Okay, I didn't see the decimal
Yeah.
point. I was like, man, you're putting a lot of hours.
Well, he put a lot. He put like the first weekend we got. He put like 6 hours on it.
Did
So,
you?
yeah.
Okay. And Ethan, where do you like to ride at? You like to ride at Papa's track or?
I mostly like to ride in the back track, but sometimes I'll ride at the big track.
Yeah. Now, do you have a bike in Florida? Is this your bike that stays here, or do you have a bike in Florida?
No, I don't have a bike in Florida.
No. Okay. So when you come up to visit Grandma and Grandpa, you hop on the bike and rip around a little bit.
Yep.
That's cool. How long you been riding for, Ethan?
I don't remember.
Since you were maybe a little guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jim, I've got a picture in the front yard with Jim Dervage bringing his CR50 and that new helmet. Yeah, Jim gave him a new helmet to go along with his bike, and he had to be 4.
This was your first bike?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I think it's about 4 years old probably when he was there. So,
Well, certainly, bless you. What do you guys like most about riding? Are you raced or just ride? You don't race. You haven't raced yet. Correct?
No, I haven't.
No.
he races against me.
You beat your papa?
Not all the time.
Not all the time. So what do you enjoy most about it? Do you like the going fast, or you like turns or jumps, or what excites you about riding a dirt bike?
I just mostly like to go fast.
Go fast? Yeah. Who is your guys' favorite racer? Is there anybody you look up to right now, like Ryan?
I like Dad.
Dad?
He goes super
Wow.
fast.
Wow.
I wonder what he paid her to
Great
say
energy,
that.
Yeah. Well, we can just stop the show.
Yeah, you say that's it.
Ella, I think you just hit the home run for the night.
New bike for her.
He goes super fast.
Dad does? Cool.
How about your uncles? They go super fast too?
I don't know my uncles.
Uncle Andrew? Uncle Sean?
I don't know.
You don't know. How about you? So what is your best answer?
Do you have any supercross or motocross heroes now, or anybody you look up to racing and riding?
No.
Do you guys have a desire to race at all, or you just want to hang out, ride, and have fun?
I just want to have fun.
Yeah.
I like
Oh, that's great.
And I'm hoping that, hopefully we'll get here in the next, few days possibly. I want to get them out riding in the woods.
Yeah.
The trails.
Yeah.
And that for me, that's the ultimate riding, is just go out and enjoy the ride and ride through the woods and, do some trail riding. So hopefully he'll like that as much as I do. And hopefully, that will go too.
Yeah, well, absolutely. And Ethan, I don't know if you knew this or not, but you are in the Toledo Trail Riders Club. So yeah, did he get the membership card in the mail?
Yes, he
and
did.
A couple stickers with it. That's cool.
Do you remember him he was also on the magazine cover with myself a lot of years ago. I was actually holding him, so he was pretty young at that point in time. Is it with Jim Miller?
Oh, the Great Lakes Trail Rider
Yes.
magazine.
Yeah.
Yep,
So-
I do remember that.
Yeah, it was pretty cool for, a young guy to be out there,
Yes.
having your grandson out there with you, all suited up and riding a little bit.
I save all those. Every time I get that's so the audience knows what Marty's referring to is the Cycle Conservation Club of Michigan. They have basically a kind of a quarterly magazine, if you will, newsletter magazine type of thing, and sometimes the Toledo Trail Rider guys get on it, and so that's pretty cool. So
I think they were down when we were out doing some work out of the track here.
Yes.
And did some pictures too.
yeah, all good stuff.
So whose PW is this?
Mine.
Yours. Because I have a granddaughter that has a PW also. Yeah. And a TTR. Yeah. And great little bike.
They're great, and actually, kind of we just already touched on it earlier, but that was not that particular one, but that was the Yamaha PW50 was my very first.
It could have been. It
Yeah.
probably didn't change.
It's blue.
Blue.
The one I had was white and red.
Well, I bought Chelsea, her mom.
Yep.
I bought her a yellow one. It was yellow and with a black Yamaha.
Oh, so that would have been like 70s,
early 80s. So,
I think
same bike. I mean, you look at it, it is the same bike.
I'm pretty sure mine was an 85 because I think I was like 3 years old. But yeah, it literally is the same.
Yeah.
The same machine. There's no
Run great. I mean, it's hard to find them because everybody, if they get them, they keep them.
right.
And even if they'll say, well, somebody's going to ride it. Even if the grandkids are getting old enough they can't ride it,
Yep.
somebody's going to ride it.
Yep.
So
It's they're crazily reliable, just like these things. They are 2-stroke, oil injected, and I don't
shaft driven, which is really nice for young guys.
Yep.
And gals.
Yep, automatic. So again, these guys here and gals are the future of our sport, but the main thing is you can go to any of your local Yamaha dealer and pick one of these up for not a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
I mean, and I hate to say this about the used market, but you're almost better off to buy a brand new one.
You are, because they're asking the same amount of money.
Same amount.
In mid 90s or mid 80s, when I bought that one for Chelsea, I want to say I paid $800 for it in the 80s. So, and they're not, where they $1,000, $1,200
I think $1,200
Yeah.
new.
So, and I think when I went to buy one at the dealership brand new, they wanted like $1,200 back then even.
Right.
So the prices really haven't changed much.
No.
And like I said, I bought it. I bought it. I was like $1,200. That's a lot of money. I didn't pay that much money for one of my first bikes.
Right.
But definitely was a great bike. And when we sold it, same thing. I mean, it was. I put it up for. I told the dealer I had it for sale, and within 20 minutes he called me and said, "Hey, can you get it over here?"
Yes. Yeah. You see these down at Vintage Days in Mid Ohio when they have it, and I mean, people are throwing them on back of ATVs, and you could buy these $900 all day long. That's why, I mean, my Vincent's papa actually bought that for him as a gift, but that was I think
That was 4 years ago or like 3.
4 years?
2 years ago.
So is he racing it yet?
He's not raced it, but they are. We're riding pretty much every weekend.
Cool.
We were very fortunate to have a little bit of property at our house, and you guys were riding. Was it yesterday? This is Wednesday night.
Yeah.
They were riding Monday night, right? Was it Monday or Tuesday? I don't know. It doesn't matter.
It was Tuesday.
Tuesday.
It was yesterday.
Was it? Okay. And so they put a lot of laps on there, and then we also have a couple loops behind my parents' house, and go over there. We're trying, at least I'm trying to keep them in the woods a little bit, just because I'm an enduro guy myself. But they're riding really good, really impressive.
We'll get them onto the other side. We'll get them to MX Express.
the track side.
We'll get them to the other
We
side.
do need to do that, and they are asking me about. They're like, "We're going to go to Marty's track," and I said, "Well,
We'll do it one night where we can prep it for the little guys so it's not so deep and they can enjoy it." But
yeah, I think you guys are riding pretty good. You're ripping around the yard pretty good, and learning a lot, I think, too. So
good.
But yeah, no, they're nice little bikes, and like I said, very reliable, very easy entry level to get into. At least around the Toledo, Ohio area, we've got a lot of nice tracks to go practice. We've got the state forest just adjacent to here, and all you need is your APV sticker and take your title down to the BMV, get your APV sticker.
Wait 45 minutes to get in line.
Yes, you got to go. This is a shout out to the Perrysburg BMV. They are super fast.
Are they?
Yes. We get a lot as a club. We get a lot of messages on that, especially like guys or gals riding from Michigan because they need their out-of-state sticker, and we get that all the time. They're like, "Where do I go?" And I'm like, "Go to the Perrysburg location because you're in and out, and they know what they're doing." And
The girls went there yesterday and walked in. The line was in Wasion, was all the way out from the DMV, all the way out down through all the hallway and out the front door.
oh my gosh,
And the ladies, they said it's at least a 45-minute wait at
Oh
that
my
time.
gosh.
And she said, "But I haven't moved for 10 minutes."
you got to go to the one at Perrysburg.
Yeah,
They really know what they're doing there.
Now, did these guys start with these, or did they have a smaller bike or different type of bike riding, or did they just jump into one of these that Grandpa got you.
You answered.
Max, he had
Hey, I started out with a 50.
A 50? A little Honda 50?
and I started out with that one.
And you started out with that one. Which one's better, the Honda 50 or the PW? That one.
I'd
We can
say
say-
the Honda 50 because you learn how to shift.
Yeah. So you started right off on that? So you started right off shifting?
No, but
No, but you started off with a shifter bike
Yeah.
immediately.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Ethan hasn't got there yet. That's why the TC50 is a great little bike. It's
Yeah.
it is an automatic and it's adjustable clutch. So as he grows, he can make it a little bit more responsive by adjusting the clutch. And I think in a day or so, Jim's going to stop by and tweak it a little bit more, so it'll be a little more quicker to have done. But so that's a good deal, though. I mean, to start right off on a shift bike, so you had to learn how to make those things happen, other than turn the gas on, and turn it off. So
Yeah, he did. And quite honestly, the first, I don't want to answer for you, Max, but your first go around didn't go so hot, did it? No, what happened?
I probably crashed a few times and was really crying because I first time doing it.
And then we
But
kind
plus
of
I was 7 years old.
took a break, right?
yeah,
And then you got, what was that, when you were about 8, you kind of picked it back up again that summer, right?
Yeah.
And then you rode it for 2 years. And then what happened last fall? Remember, in the fall, at the rodeo, that was the wrong.
yeah, because he did race that, right?
He did.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he raced that.
So what was kind of cool as a proud dad moment. Max's, my oldest here, his first race was at the Fallen Timbers Classic 3 Hare Scramble, and of that whole day, and I know you were there, Marty. The honest to goodness, the best, most proudest moment I had, I mean, on a personal level, was watching my son get the race. That was really cool at our race.
Mm-hmm.
That was awesome. But to have 15 kids, got little kids out there, got little guys. I think there was 15 50s out on the
Yeah.
50 track. When I saw all those kids converging onto the start line, that was probably one of the coolest moments ever.
We were hoping that's what we were hoping for Ethan to be able to come out and ride that.
Yeah.
Of course, that changed this year, so he wasn't able to do that. But it was always that's a great deal over there at the Hare Scrambles to have those 50s out. Now, if I recall, and that's sort of one of the reasons why we definitely want to letting everybody know the little is that didn't I hear what was the stats on that 50? Didn't that race have the most 50s?
At that time, I believe it did. That's what the organizers told me.
Had the
that
most
we
50s at the entries.
We had the most 50s, and that we kind of made a big deal about that because we need to.
Yes.
In order to get the kids to be excited about the future, you need to make them feel like stars, and they are stars. I mean, they're future stars of the sport. So now you got a long way to go, boys, to beat your old man. But that's a whole other
At least another month or so.
At least, yeah, exactly. But no, that was really, really a great moment. I actually kind of felt like I was almost getting a little emotional there.
Yeah.
Seeing all these kids pulling in. I'm sure you guys have had it at the track.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think you were happier that I even got 5th place? Probably.
The place that you got doesn't make much difference to me. I was just proud to watch you keep going. And you fell down too, didn't you?
Yeah.
I didn't see you fall. But
Yeah,
you
it was
fell
a real
down.
slippery spot,
Yeah.
and I was on throttle, and I swerved and I fell over.
Yeah, Ethan's had a couple little tumbles. He's getting a little lanky for the 50.
Yeah.
Yes, that's why that's sort of nice. It's got an actually adjustable suspension, so you can actually go up with it. So if you can actually lower it a little bit. So last year he did that. Jim raised it a little bit this year, but he was getting his knees are up around his elbows on the little 50 here.
Yeah.
So he went down, took a handlebar to the chest a couple times. So.
Time to update.
Yep. So it was good, and we are excited. So, but yeah, that was a great. Just to think about that, and we see a lot of 50s, and we see a lot of everything at the track for youth. And I mean, we probably have somewhere probably between 30 and 40 kids, different kids that probably show up at different times that come out to the track and
That's
ride
awesome.
the big track. I mean, yesterday we had a young little boy. It looked like a PW50 with electric motor. He rode the tar out of our little practice track. It's not much of a kids track to say it's a racer kids track, but lots of uphills, downhills, little bumps, rights, lefts, and we run them. Like I told the mom yesterday, you run them one direction for 10 minutes or so, 15 minutes, and run them the other direction.
Right.
They get used to turning and that kind of stuff. So it's more of just getting used to the bike and that kind of stuff. But it's so funny because these kids go out there and they get that mastered pretty quick, and the first thing they want, they're looking for the big track.
Right.
They want to get on the big track and ride. And I can tell you, I take my hats off to any of the little guys riding, because after those big guys go out there and, I worked the track yesterday or the day before yesterday, and I can tell you the ruts were this deep.
Oh, really?
So this deep to that foot peg is dragging foot pegs, right?
No.
But fortunately, with a big bike, they make a fairly good rut. So this foot pegs don't drag too much because they sit in there. But those little guys and gals, it's just amazing how they get out there and they ride, and they tip over in every corner and they get back up and they get going, and it's pretty cool to see these little guys going.
Yeah,
So,
no,
when does the little one? I should say the littlest guy here. When is he going to start racing?
Well, maybe this year. We talked a little bit about that. Of course, the issue is time.
Yeah.
Which weekend? We got a lot of weekends planned out of town in July. That kind of slows us down in August, and we don't know what's going to happen with school naturally. But go ahead, Matt.
Maybe when he gets my old bike, maybe.
Yeah. Well, maybe
Saturday night at Delta.
Yeah.
Get on the kids track.
Yep.
They've got a great little kids track. So
if it opens,
I believe it's going to open. I believe it's going to open the third week of July. So
okay.
But I'm sort of excited because I was hoping that he would be still here. I don't think he's going to. He has to go home and get ready for school. But I was hoping he'd be able to take a chance to ride. We've never been able to ride over there on that little.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool looking little tractor.
It is. They do have a nice. I think it's like a quarter mile long.
It winds around, goes up through the little woods or whatever, back around and stuff like that. So, but no, it's like I say again, it's real exciting to see young kids, and we talked about that. I was telling somebody about what we were going to do tonight, and they're like, "Man, how many kids are you going to have?" Because like I said, we have so many kids at the track that we've seen come in on PW. Well, actually, it was a TTR 50 with training wheels, and to this today, I don't know if Canon made Loretta's. He missed it by that much.
Oh, local.
So
kid.
coming on a TTR 50 that his dad would run quartered. They finally took the training wheels off because he was just tearing them up. He just couldn't go. It would do this stuff. So his dad took it off, and his dad ran from corner to corner to corner to corner because he'd fall over and pick them back up. Today, he will clear some of our big tabletops.
Really?
Yeah, it's like, it's amazing. As long as it's not my kids doing it, I'm okay with it.
Right.
And I don't. If one of these guys start jumping something on my track, I'll probably pass out. But no, it's a lot of fun, and it's just so cool to see the kids. And like I said, they've got such a range of variety of equipment these days that we didn't really have when we were back there. That if they like motorsports and they like riding, whether it's around the backyard or at a track or in the woods somewhere, they've got a great. It's just great, great equipment to ride, and whether they never race ever or they never really ride anymore, I can tell you, I can think of all the times that we rode around our backyard, and
yes,
we rode double because my neighbor boy didn't have a bike, so we rode double.
Did you really?
We'd go fishing, and he'd hold the fishing rod, and I'd drive the bike or ride the bike.
We see that a lot at the state forest, which, by the way, if you don't have a piece of equipment that is designed for double, you're not supposed to be double. Just throwing that out there for the audience.
I think that Hodaka Wombat, I think it was for 2.
Yeah, maybe 3.
Maybe 3.
Like that one.
Yeah. But we rode it, and I just remember doing it. That's why I hope these guys get the chance. I grew up in the hills of Pennsylvania, so it was a lot easier to do that. To just go out and ride in the woods.
Right.
But like I said, you and I are very lucky because these kids are right here by the park.
Yes.
And we'll get these things.
Well, that bike behind you, Marty, that 110, which actually was put under the tree at Christmas time for Max here. Thank you, Santa. That's actually fuel injected.
No.
Yes.
The 110 is?
Yes.
That's electric start and kickstart.
Now you're talking.
Yes.
Now you're talking.
And I was like, fuel injected on a 110 or a mini bike, basically.
Yeah.
And I thought at first when we first started riding, I thought for sure it might be a little bit too heavy for him, but
It's pretty heavy.
yeah, I mean, compared to your 50 that you had, it's
But it rides well, right? And
Yeah.
once you get moving, it rides good. Now, this is electric start too, right?
no, that's
Oh, it's not.
Kickstarter.
Oh, I'm sorry. The
Yeah.
TTRs
Yeah.
are electric start.
Yeah, and it still has the Kickstarter on the left
Yeah.
side.
Yeah. Yeah.
From the who knows when 70s or 80s, but
He just mastered a Kickstarter for him, so
Yeah.
he's able to kick his bike over now.
yep.
So I'm telling you, Grandpa's getting old and can't kick it started like that. But so I guess I think you started down that road, and you guys think you're going to keep on riding? You like to ride that much?
What do you guys like? I asked you guys, what Booker boys, what do you like about riding?
Probably just riding.
Just having fun.
Just having fun.
Just having fun.
That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about. Exactly. No matter what you do, whether it's racing or just riding, it's a lot of fun.
Well, I've been really, really pleased with how, when we started riding this spring, the boys, compared to where they're at now. Last weekend or 2 weekends ago, we were riding behind my parents' house, and we got like 2 loops. One is kind of an entry level single. It's got a little field, grassy areas, a little bit of wood stuff. And, now after they've kind of mastered that, at least Max, you said you want to go out in the woods, which we did try that the first time. It didn't work so good because Papa.
Trees, is it trees
I
real
crashed
close?
once.
Trees real close?
What was hanging you up?
Going over the logs.
Logs.
And the
Logs.
guts.
Yeah, they get really slippery.
We had a little mini Erzberg out there for the kids. And,
Especially for him, because he's got that tiny bike.
exactly. Yeah, you don't have much ground clearance. But Max I told him, I said, just practice standing up. I said, just go around the house or, around the loop. I said, just do 2 loops standing up. The next thing you know, he's doing 3 or 4 or 5 loops standing up. And it's like, if I can give the gift of knowledge to these guys, eventually they pick up on stuff so fast. It's amazing.
Ethan's been doing pretty good on the standing up. I've got some rollers out back, and so is Ella. She gets up there. She's, of course, once Ethan does it, she does it too, so, but they're actually learning to stand up, keeping the knees into the tank, right, bud? Keeping it so that it doesn't get a little squirrely.
Yep.
But, probably, this is going to be a little confrontational, probably. I probably shouldn't say it, but I'm going to say it. We're talking about our kids riding and riding bikes, and I really want to make something really well known for parents to be very careful. Bikes or whatever you may have are can be and dangerous. But what I'm really concerned about is they're making so many of these little 4-wheelers now and stuff like that are real easy to ride. And what I'm seeing is they'll get a small 4-wheeler and they'll jump on it and they'll ride it. Next thing you know, they're riding mom and dad's 4-wheeler.
Yeah.
There's 2 different skill sets to ride a dirt bike versus a 4-wheeler. And the 4-wheelers are really easy to ride.
Right.
Now they come with power steering and all that kind of stuff, so young ones can do that. But, just for the parents out there, you get them into something, not only because I'm pro motorcycle dirt bike stuff, but, that concerns me. But, there's a lot of people who love to do 4-wheelers, side-by-sides and stuff. But, just like the little bikes, you need one thing that's very important is a good dealer.
Yep.
A good dealer will put you on a bike that your child, or grandchild, will be fit for, and they've been riding, they've been around motorcycles for a long time, and they'll be the first to tell you, make sure that if you're buying a 4-wheeler, make sure it's this size and not a big one, because you see that. Oh, we're wanting to buy a 4-wheeler for the family. Well, that's great, but if you're 13, 14 years old and you got an 800-pound 4-wheeler. You can tip over and kill yourself.
Yeah.
It's not crashing, it's just tipping over, and they weigh so much you can't get the bike off without you there. So, just be careful whether it's dirt bikes or 4-wheelers or side-by-sides now, we have to be very careful still of making sure our kids are appropriate of what bikes and what skill level and that kind of stuff goes. So,
well, the piggyback on that in the gear. I mean, we're, not to badger the audience that rides in the state forest, but we are seeing and hearing more and more riders, at least at the Maumee State Forest, that are not wearing helmets. You can't do that. That is that is a recipe for disaster and a trip to the ER. And if you make it, that's the other thing. It doesn't take much to hit your head, and you're in serious trouble. And with this COVID thing going around, the last place you want to be is the ER. So wear your helmet. It is a rule. It's for your own safety, and it can't be stressed enough.
No. And being that set, you can ask these kids what the first thing they do, whether it's their bicycle, whether it's that Strider or that Stasic or their dirt bike. We've taught them forever. When she really didn't get a chance to ride around. We had a fairly good sized office that could ride around with the little Striders. He had a bicycle helmet on when he was in the office, just going up and down the hallways.
Yep. And
always these guys know when they get on their bike or their dirt bike, whatever, they've got a helmet on.
Yes.
And that's, like I say, it's one of the things that it's definitely by far, and of course, I tout the Liette because I'm a Liette dealer too, but Liette makes a very good pieces of equipment for chest protectors and good padding and protecting the core. He has one that wraps around him completely, so when you take a handlebar to the chest, it still knocked the wind out of you, but it's not it's not doing a major deal. So
right.
And helmets, like I said,
because you're going to go down.
You're going to go down.
I don't know if you guys knew that. You're going to crash. I mean, you're going to. Vincent, you wadded up your brother's bike the first time you rode. Remember that? You had what they called whiskey throttle.
Yes.
And next thing you know, he was
no alcohol included.
No.
I ran into a down tree.
You ran into that big oak that was laying back in the woods there. And I was like trying to grab a hold of him, and but again, you had all the what? What'd you have on that helped you?
Gear.
Your gear.
Yep.
Yeah, can't stress that enough.
Yeah, and the nice thing about it is these kids grow like weeds. So look at the marketplaces and the places like that, because people have boots. I remember when I bought him the first pair of boots that I ever bought him. My wife just had a hemorrhage because they within 2 months are already 2 sizes bigger, right? And but there's the thing about it is the stuff never gets wore a ton,
right?
So as these guys are coming up and going, that stuff's always out there. You go to a local track. We get at our local track. We go, hey, if you know anybody who wants this gear, here's this gear. Give it out, and we'll get stuff that looks like it's brand new.
You know what we should create? Just in all seriousness, think about this: like a Northwest Ohio, like ATV dirt bike gear trade swap thing or something. Yep. You know what I mean? Because those pages exist out there, but they're like all over the place. We should probably think about that, because I've had people message the club or message me, and I'm like you said, you guys are getting it too. Hey, where do I go to get this? Or I'm looking for kids' boots. I'm like, wow, I don't have it. My kids are wearing their own stuff. Are you bored, Vincent? Are you tired, or what's this?
Maybe we should start the bikes up and go out and ride on the track. Maybe that's what it is.
We burn our gear though.
Well, there you go. You can't ride.
Can't ride.
No gear.
I can walk home and bring it.
So what's if you guys wrote, this is probably a difficult question, but if you guys were talking to some other kids about riding dirt bikes, what would you tell them to try to get them to get into this sport? How would you sell it to them? What would you say to them? Again, I know this is kind of a tough question, but
it's gonna be fun. You get to learn.
Yep.
And just have fun.
It's a great answer. Ethan, what do you think?
I really don't know.
Don't know? You wouldn't tell you. So your buddy comes over. What do you tell your buddy when you go home back down there about you riding your dirt bike? You tell him about it?
I told him it was fun.
You tell him he should do it?
Yeah.
When you tell him it's fun, what's he say?
He's always wanted a dirt bike himself, but he hasn't. There's really no tracks down in Florida that we have close to us, so he can't really ride. And if he does, he'll have to go pretty far.
By St.
That's kind of a challenge. That's what's kind of nice about here. We're blessed to have all this around us. Most people don't even know it. Yeah.
Well, what was it? What do they call it? The big track and trail place down there that they put millions of dollars in, closed. So
Florida Track and Trail.
Yeah, they were not very far from, probably 20 minutes, 30 minutes from that.
Oh, really? Wow.
But now that's
I didn't know that.
That's close.
Okay.
So.
Oh, bummer. What about you, Vincent? What would you tell all your buddies about riding dirt bikes?
What?
Did you tell them anything about it? Like you had a PW50 or?
I only tell them one.
What'd you tell them?
Well, I said my brother, he raced, and that's about all.
That's about all? You didn't tell them how fun it was, or?
Yeah, he liked it, like, when he first started kindergarten, and then he just quit liking them.
Yeah.
And he was like, boo, dirt bikes are life.
What's your favorite part about your Yamaha PW50? Do you like to do turns, or are you more like straightaways, Vincent?
Woods.
Woods? Good. Answer.
Tell
Great
him. Tell him he needs to ride in the woods.
Pretty fun. I'll race you in the woods.
Yeah, there you go. There's a challenge.
Well, Max has got little mini bark busters on his 110 there.
Oh, he does. Yeah.
Picked them up at Championship Power Sports, and they don't. Somebody needs to make them for these little guys with gal bikes.
Yeah.
They need to make them. They don't. The same ones wouldn't fit on Vincent's bars because his bars are too thin.
Yeah.
So, but
that Moose Racing.
Yeah,
he makes those.
Yeah. They need to make full. It'd be kind of cool to have full wraparound little mini ones.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of neat. Because again, we're just trying to get them in the woods, and I have full faith in that they're going to be able to do the single track, pretty early on in life. So, What about you, Max? You're telling your buddies and telling them about riding dirt bikes?
I mean, I don't really tell them a lot. Like some of my other friends, they don't really care.
Yeah.
Like whatever.
So, but I don't know about you kids, but like when the boys get a buddy over or something, like you guys automatically do what? When you get the buddy over, what do you do?
Oh, like show them our dirt bikes.
Show them the dirt bikes. We go out to the barn, Dad.
There you
show
go.
them the bikes. Yep.
Well, that's cool. Well, thanks guys for coming out.
Yes.
It's fun, and hopefully we'll see you guys at a track near us or trails. Hopefully you guys will, when Ethan's back up again, maybe we'll get a chance to go out in the woods and go do a little riding. So, and even Ella, she'll be riding with us too.
Yep.
You just got to be careful because I think she's pretty fast.
And there's Max's old bike.
You're gonna ride Max's old bike?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well,
she's only got one speed, wide open.
does she?
Yeah, she's
I want to watch you ride.
I'm going fast.
You like going fast?
She does.
Like your dad, right? Like your dad.
But sometimes you might hit neutral,
Uh-huh.
and then you might crash.
Oh yeah,
That happens.
that happens.
Well, let's practice this one more time,
Yep.
guys, before
All right,
we wrap
ready.
this up.
Hang on.
What?
We're gonna.
Oh, there.
Really good.
Remember we did. We've been practicing for hours.
He said, there you go. Trail.
Hold it.
So again, we thank you, everybody out there in our audience. Our audience is growing. We have, I think we got 200 downloads now, so we're real happy about that. Episode 6, Mr. Schlegel's, we probably have already posted. Once you see this, probably already gonna have it posted, but we'll fill this up on YouTube at some point. But we appreciate you watching with us and staying tuned with us because you are watching the
Toledo
Track and trail
Podcast.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.